These are the mangroves of Lamu County in northeast Kenya. You won't find a larger area of mangroves anywhere else in Africa. But massive development projects are planned here. And these trees, along with their forest cousins inland, are set to lose out on a huge scale. Situated on the Kenya-Somalia border, Lamu County holds a rich diversity of wildlife and landscapes. Critically endangered animals such as the Hirola antelope inhabit the forests here. On the banks of the Tana River, there lives a species of monkey found nowhere else, the Tana River mangabe. And Wajir Forest is the only known place on Earth you can find the Euphorbia tanaensis tree. But as with so many other developing nations, ecosystems in this part of the world are no stranger to widespread degradation. The threats come from every angle: deforestation through illegal and legal logging, encroachment by agriculture, illegal grazing, and conflict between wild animals and people all conspire to put unbearable pressure on the environment. So Lamu's once densely forested landscape has today been reduced to no more than a fragmented patchwork. The Horn of Africa region has also been suffering recurring droughts since 2011, the most serious being this year. This has exacerbated the challenges for humans and wildlife. The drought ended just the week before filming started. But the rate of environmental destruction is about to undergo a monumental shift. This is Lapset, or the Lamu Port Southern Sudan-Ethiopia Transport Corridor. This vast infrastructure project will link the coasts of Kenya and Somalia to landlocked Ethiopia. The plan includes a new railway line, a highway, and an oil pipeline. The scale of development is unprecedented, but this is the situation IGAD and its partners face. Here in Kenya, the IGAD Biodiversity Management Programme has partnered with the World Agroforestry Centre, known as ICRAF, and the National Museums of Kenya. Together with the local government, they have been working on a far-reaching document known as the Lamu County Spatial Plan.
The County Spatial Plan is a document that is meant to guide the use of land for the whole county. It's basically a document that says you can do this kind of land use here. For example, this is residential, this is industrial for the whole county, so that we get the optimal use of land. It is a document that is going to guide development for the next 20 years for this county. So it is a very crucial document for development.
The spatial plan should guide mega developments such as the port project currently under construction. The new port is located next door to the ancient island town of Lamu. The entire area is environmentally sensitive. The town itself is a UNESCO heritage site, a place where donkeys still have right-of-way in its maze of narrow streets. The local community should benefit economically from the development, but these benefits will need to be measured against the inevitable environmental and social impacts.
The Lapset is going to develop pipeline, is going to develop roads, is going to develop railway line. So definitely, I mean, despite the environmental and social impact assessment having been cleared, the impacts on the environment are there, and it's likely to affect biodiversity in the area. So I think the only thing that needs to be looked at is, to what extent does it affect biodiversity, and to what extent can you accommodate those negative impacts. And when we talked to the government about the environmental and social impact assessment, they've given a go-ahead. But the moment they notice that negative impacts are happening on the marine ecosystem, they have said they are going to stop the projects. The reality is that once a project like that starts, it's so many millions of dollars being invested. It will take a lot of time to litigate for such cases. So really, the reality is that these projects will have an impact on biodiversity.
Away from the coast, Lamu County's forest belt continues inland. Not so long ago, these trees would have formed a dense, uninterrupted canopy, but today, thanks to human activity, it is now reduced to a patchwork of isolated forests. And there is now a fight to protect what remains. IGAD's Biodiversity Management Programme forms part of that defence. This is Witu Forest. Once it completely covered an area of 4,700 hectares, but now there are many areas which have been lost to illegal ranch construction. Evans Manenu works for the Kenya Forest Service, or KFS, one of ICRAF's local partners. Come rain or shine, you'll often find Evans here in Witu Forest.
A long time ago, this forest covered 4,700 hectares. Initially, the whole forest was thick with a lot of indigenous species. However, at the moment, there are some patches which are degraded. Witu Forest is unique in the sense that it has a rare species called Euphorbia tanensis, which has three trees that are only found in Witu Forest. There is no any other species of that type in any other part of Kenya.
These few trees really are the last remaining mature specimens of Euphorbia tanensis in the wild. This part of the forest is heavily protected by the KFS rangers, but resources are tight. The rangers can't be everywhere at the same time, so the KFS has to work with the local community if it stands any chance of success.
Witu Forest, we have a total of 6 rangers, whom I feel they are not adequate to do patrolling of an area of 4,700 because the area is very expansive. It has a lot of wildlife, so it requires high manpower to do adequate patrolling. Now, to address illegal logging in the forest, Kenya Forest Service has forest rangers who do day-to-day patrols. During these patrols, Kenya Forest Service has also brought the communities on board through formation of community forest associations. We have gotten community scouts who patrol the forest alongside our forest rangers. In the course of these patrols, we are able to address poaching, illegal encroachment, so that it's really been brought to very low levels. We get some minimum funding from the government, not adequate to patrol the forest. This is why we get support, for example, from IGAD, who sponsor these patrols. If this funding is enhanced, we would get more rangers. Also, we would also support community scouts who are able to supplement the patrolling by the forest rangers.
Joseph Maganga is one such community scout. He is part of a new generation who can see the value in protecting this area.
Nilikuwa forest ranger kama form of employment kwangu na pia kwa kuchunga mazingira. Kulingana na kuchunga mazingira, sisi wenyewe kibinadamu lazima tuishi mazingira mazuri. Tunapata uhai kutokana na mazingira mazuri. Na pia hata machakula zetu zinatokana na hiyo mazingira. Kwa sababu hata hiyo inatatiza maisha yetu ile tunayoishi. Kwa mfano, miti katakatwa kunaweza leta jangwa. Maji yatakuwa yamekosekana. Pia mvua ikosekana, pia sisi tuko njaa. Na pia wanyama watakosa machakula, na wanyama pia watakufa kwa kukosa machakula.
As well as patrols, the KFS are planting tree seedlings in degraded areas next to the forests. But it would seem that tree planting is no quick fix.
We have planted about 10,000 tree seedlings, and when we carried out survival count, it was only 10% that survived. That was actually articulated, or that was brought about by drought that actually affected this area.
So can you show us an example?
Yeah, example is this pit here, which has no tree. There's no seedling here. They died here. This species here came as a result of natural regeneration, and it has really done well during the harsh times. Natural regeneration requires little attention. Only if you can fence it, then automatically they will just come up. That's why, for the long term, I think we can recommend natural regeneration.
Patrols by the KFS and the community rangers are now having a positive impact. And Evans Manenu has evidence of this at the KFS office in Witu.
This wood is of Terminalia kilimanjarica. It was seized in Witu Forest by our Kenya Forest Service Rangers 2 weeks ago. Now, since we educated the community around Witu about biodiversity conservation, such incidences of illegal logging have hence reduced. That is why this year we've so far impounded just 1 ton, unlike in the past where we were able to impound like 20 tons per year.
The success of the KFS in reducing illegal logging is clear, but the pressure on the forest is not about to ease up. The recent drought in Africa has caused widespread loss of wildlife and increased conflict between humans and animals. Added to this is the steady march of the LAPSET project. The environmental impact could be overwhelming. Salem Omar from the Lamu Conservation Trust explains more.
Kusema ukweli, mara hii kiangazi ilikuwa kiangazi kubwa sana kuliko hiyo ya miaka ya nyuma ya 83 na 64. Kiangazi imekuwa ni kiangazi kubwa sana na imeleta shida kubwa kwa ukosefu wa chakula, nyasi na ukosefu wa maji. Maziwa yote yamekauka, hata visima vimekauka. Kwa hivyo imeleta wanyama kuja karibu zaidi na raia. Na hapa ndio tukaanza kutengeneza hii jabia ambalo litatusaidia sisi kuweka maji wakati wa mvua, ili kiangazi kikija mara nyingine tuweze kusaidika na maji kama hayo, tusiathirike kama vile tumeathirika mara hii. Ukataji wa miti kwa misitu umeleta shida kubwa sana kwa wanyama, kwa sababu ile sehemu wanyama huwa wanajifichia imekuwa iko wazi, na binadamu, wanyama unajua ni viumbe ambazo hazitaki kukutana na binadamu. Wakiona binadamu wanatoroka. Sasa wanyama wamekuwa hawana mahali ya kujificha wala kwenda kutafuta malisho. Imeleta shida sana ukataji wa miti, kwa sababu watu sahihi tayari kusikia LAPSSET inajengwa wameanza kuingia kwa wingi na wanakata msitu, wanajikatia sehemu, wanatafuta mahali ya kuishi ili waweze kufanya kazi na biashara katika hiyo LAPSSET. So area kubwa inapotea, mazingira yanaharibika, misitu inapungua, wanyama hawana mahali pa kukaa, miti inakatwa, ndio hata kiangazi kimekuwa kikubwa na mito imepungua. Ile sehemu za chemchemi za maji zote watu wamefanya ni makao, kwa sababu ili wapate kufanya biashara ndani ya LAPSSET. Kwa hivyo hiyo naona itatuletea athari kiasi fulani cha upande wa mazingira.
These are the foot soldiers of the Northern Rangeland Trust, or NRT. The NRT is another IGAD partner in this region, supported by the IGAD Biodiversity Management Programme. Today their mission is to patrol an area in the Hanchak-Nyongoro rangeland. IGAD through IGAD has supported the NRT by providing GPS machines which they use to record sightings of wildlife, both alive and dead. The data is a valuable resource for the community and will go a long way to keep tabs on wildlife levels and illegal activity.
Sasa sisi tunafanya tarakimu ya wanyama. Hii ndio kazi huwa tunafanya kila asubuhi mpaka tuje tuchukue hiyo idadi ya wanyama, wamelala aje, wako hali gani, ndio tujue ama wako na wagonjwa ama wako na nini, ndio ili tujue kila wameongezeka ama wamepungua.
The importance for people to have a sense of ownership of their environment is at the heart of the IGAD Regional Biodiversity Policy. This is why all across Lamu County, community conservancies have been set up. But with the region's complicated mix of tribes, peaceful coexistence cannot be taken for granted. Hassan Youssef is a Conservancy Development Officer working for the NRT.
A community conservancy is an autonomous organization owned by the community that have decided to set their land for the conservation purpose to use their resources in a sustainable way. For this conservancy, we have 4 tribes being represented: Orma, the Boni people, and the Griama people, and the Swahili. So the importance of having all these people, first of all, is to bring peace and harmony among ourselves, because some of this community have history of conflict. The farmers and the pastoralists, like Griama are farmers and the Orma community are pastoralists. So the conservancy is a tool that brings peace among the community.
IGAD's Biodiversity Management Programme is helping to secure the future of remaining forests and wildlife here in Lamu County. But in our next film, we will see how the programme is helping the people who live in and around these forests.